So this is about giving things a meaning and how that impacts and changes things. So someone said to me, she said, so she was living in Hampshire and she had a lot of thinking around living in Hampshire. She didn't want to be living there. She wanted to be living in Wales. And she said to me, she said, I'm listening to all the traffic and don't tell me, to listen to the bird song because I'm just hearing the traffic. And you're telling me, to go and listen to the bird song. And I'm like, well, I'm not actually telling you to go and do anything. But that's what she was hearing. And she said, I can't hear the bird song because I can hear the traffic. And so don't tell me it's not there and don't tell me it's not real because it is real. And I went away and I was pondering and I was like, what is she saying? What is she hearing? And I went up to my son's room moments later, and we live on a road, and it's kind of on a lane, but it's a bit of a rat run, and the main road was closed, and so all these cars were coming through the lane, and he had his window open, and he was just sitting at his desk and he was working, and it was like there was just like a Formula One racetrack going on outside his window. All these cars were trying to get beyond the traffic, take a little cut through. And it was really loud, all these cars going past. And I said to him, I said, oh my God, how are you getting your work done? This traffic is really loud in here. And he looked up and he said, what traffic? And I had this moment where I thought, hang on a minute. He hasn't brought that alive in his reality to the point where he hasn't even heard it. He hasn't given it any meaning. He's working. He's not putting his spotlight on the traffic. He's not judging it. He's not giving it any thought. He's not giving it any meaning. So it's not coming alive in his reality. Does that make sense? So if you think about it, everything is neutral. The traffic it's just rubber tires on tarmac. It's neutral completely. And then we give it a meaning and we go into judgment like I don't like it. So for me, there's some thinking around the traffic because I'm like, why did we buy a house right on the road? How come we bought this house and didn't know that the road was a rut run? And I have judgment. And so then when I hear traffic, it gets loud because I have thinking around it. I put my spotlight on it and I bring it alive. I give it a meaning. I judge it. That's what goes on in my reality. Now, my son, he doesn't have you thinking around it. He's not putting his mental spotlight on it. He's not judging it. He's not bringing it alive at all. And so it doesn't even enter his reality. When he said, what traffic? I was like, how is that even possible? And then I realized that actually, if you think we're all creating our experience from moment to moment to moment, and he's not giving it a meaning, it doesn't enter his reality. So I went back to this other person who'd said, don't tell me this traffic isn't real. And I said, what meaning do you give it? What meaning do you give the traffic? And she said, well, it means I'm living in the wrong place. It means that I'm living in Hampshire and I want to be living in Wales. It means that I'm doing life wrong. It means that I should never have moved here. It means that I made this great big mistake. And I was like, that traffic's going to be loud. Now, I'm not saying it's not, the traffic isn't there, but I'm saying that if you don't give it a meaning, you don't bring it into your reality and judge it and put your mental spotlight on it, then it's almost like it doesn't enter your consciousness. It's so neutral. It doesn't come alive like it didn't for my son. He didn't even know it was there. He was like, what traffic? And yet for this other person, she had given it such a meaning that it was massive for her. And so, of course, it's not like things aren't real. when we bring them alive, for us, they become our reality. So they are real for us in our reality. So the traffic was real for her in her reality. It was really something that she didn't like. For my son, because he didn't bring it alive and gave it no meaning, it wasn't real. As in, it was still there, it was neutral, but it wasn't in his reality. He didn't bring it alive, he didn't put any spotlight on it, so it didn't feature. If that makes any sense, you have to kind of bring that alive for yourself to see if it makes sense. But it's like, what do we give meaning to in our lives? What do we bring alive? What do we judge? And those are the things that we pay, we have this mental spotlight and we put our attention on them. We give them a lot of meaning and we give them a lot of thinking and we feel them. And actually, when we become aware of it, we might shine our spotlight in a different direction, and things that we gave a lot of meaning to, we perhaps don't give so much meaning to anymore. And then we don't have to feel that judgment because the experience that the other person was creating around the traffic was heavy for her. And it was real and it was uncomfortable. And she was like, I'm trying to listen to the bird song. I'm trying, but I can't. I just hear the traffic. And it's like, because you've got your mental spotlight on the traffic, of course you have to hear it and it becomes your reality and it's real for you. When you become aware, you shift your mental spotlight. And there's an acceptance around, I'm giving that a meaning. And then you can shift and you can look in a different direction. It's just awareness of what you're doing, of what you're creating, of what you're experiencing. It's not coming from the traffic itself. Because otherwise my son would have had the same experience of the traffic. He didn't even hear it. So this is just more, I'm just giving you something to get curious about around, is life happening to us? Is that traffic making us feel the way we're feeling, or is it the meaning that we give it? Is life making us feel the way we're feeling, or is it the meaning that we give it? Is it coming from the other person? Is it coming from our circumstances? Is it coming? And then you start to question, if it was coming from outside, we'd all experience it in the same way, and yet we don't. We all experience these things differently. And so what's really going on? And this is about getting curious. I'm not telling you anything. I'm saying, if you look at your experience, you get curious. Where do you shine your mental spotlight? What do you bring alive? Where's that coming from? If two people aren't having the same experience of the same thing, then surely it has to be coming from within. And that's just a question.